Hey everybody, and welcome back. So quick question. If I told you that there's a much easier way to process black walnuts, that you don't have to squish them all apart and get all this nastiness on your hands and stain your clothes and your fingers and everything that these things touch, would you be more willing to put away a bucket or two of them? Because there's a much easier way. Now, I don't recommend this for putting away hundreds of pounds or 8, 10, 12 or more buckets of them, because it takes up more space. But all you've got to do is pick up your walnuts and put them on something that'll let them air dry, and they will start to dry down slowly. They'll crack a little bit, they'll turn brown. If I squished some of these right now, I'm sure that they would still have that nastiness inside. Yep, they do. Oh, I'm going to say a squirrel might have been up here peeling through a couple of these. Either that or Hunter was. But at any rate, all you got to do is throw them on a screen or let them dry in a bucket, and they will dry down. Now, it does take it a while. It's going to take it 3, 4, 5 weeks, but that's no big deal, because even if we go through the process of smashing the walnut, stomping them down, getting the nut meat out, washing them, cleaning them up, drying them, you still want to let them cure for 30, 60, 90 days. You want to let them cure a little bit and let the nut meat dry out. Now, what you get when you do this process, and thankfully I had a few of these saved up from last year that I had forgotten about, that I threw them on the front porch, and they got nice and dry. I got 4 of them. I think I had about 6 or 8, so might have had a squirrel find a few. But they dry down real nice. And once you get the husk off, the hull off, it's not staining my fingers like the liquid does. It's just a powder. Just brushes right off, real nice and easy. Oh, excuse me here. See if I can get you guys at a better angle. So a lot of times what I do with these is I'll grab a hammer and just smack them a couple times, and it'll get most of this hull off. Now, this is kind of the same way you process butternuts. You got to let the butternut dry. Ooh! Yeah, that went right there. The tree's not happy. And then just give it a quick little, quick little rub off, and get some of that leftover husk off. This may not be a good one, but we're going to crack these. Now, the only bad thing about doing this way is when you're cleaning your walnuts and you clean them down the normal way and wash them, you float them, and anything that floats is bad. Ooh, listen to that. Look at that. So we can't float test them. So as you're doing it this way, you may have some, and I think this one might actually be a bad one, that would have floated under the normal way, but since you're not floating them, you don't know if they're bad till you go to crack them. Alright, we had to take a little bit of a break because it got a little bit noisy right around here, but on the plus side, there is a little bit more light out, so maybe the lighting on the video will be a little bit better at this point. So back to what we were saying. The one bad thing about doing this processing way is that you don't know until after you break the husk off and crack one open whether or not it's a good one or a bad one. Now, if you only want to do a bucket or 2 of walnuts, this is a really good way to do it, though. So, We're going to see if that one that I thought was bad actually is bad. Let's see if I can get you guys angled down. Yeah, it was. Okay, but this one should be good. There we go. Okay, well, it was good, but it is way overly dried out. But it was a good one. They will, I collected these last year, they will shrivel up and dry out pretty bad. And it doesn't matter which way you process them. They're gonna dry out. Whether you clean them or whether you just let them dry in the husk. That was more what I was expecting there. Now, a lot of times they will actually dry up and get almost leathery. See if we can get one of them out of there. There it is. They get real leathery like this. And the one thing about it is when they do get this leathery, they almost get a sweetness to them, like a natural sweetness. It makes the meat sweeter. But they're still good to eat. They're just really dried out. So just to summarize everything, if you don't want to deal with the mess of these hauls and getting your hands all brown and then black and getting your clothes all stained, because every time you touch one to your clothes, it's going to stain your clothes. Just spread them out. Put them on a wire rack, lay them out in a single or a double stacked row. I've got some sitting in buckets that I'm going to let dry that way. And I still actually have probably a bucket full laying in the bed of the truck that, just out of curiosity, I want to see how they dry out in the back of the truck with driving, the air flowing over them, the sun heating the bed of the truck up a little bit. I want to see if they dry out any faster, and I'm not going to cover them. I'm going to let them out there in the rain. I'm going to let them go and just see what happens because I'm curious. But you can definitely use this easy, lazy way to put away some walnuts that you'll have for later on in the winter. You can make some brownies, you can use them for ice cream, you can use them for oatmeal, whatever you want. But it's a less messy way to do it, and it gives you the ability to play around with the black walnuts a little bit, because right now, they're dropping everywhere. So go out and get yourself some. Thanks for watching. Check out one of these other videos up here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and follow along for all our future content. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.